Good morning, humanity. It's October 7th, 2019, and this is Mondays with Bev and Paul. Hello, everybody. My name's Paul.
Hi, good morning. I'm Bev.
You certainly are. Hi, Bev.
Hi, Paul.
I miss you.
I miss you
Look at
too.
you, but I don't miss you having to wear all those clothes that you're wearing.
Yeah, you're in shorts, I'm in a sweater. That's what's
Oh, lovely Pacific Northwest, huh?
Mhm. It is gorgeous. The leaves are turning on the trees. My goodness.
Well, our leaves are far from turning right now.
I know.
Another
Yeah.
95-degree day today, but 59 in the morning. It's like you freeze in the
Hey,
morning and you're hotter than blazes in the
in the
afternoons.
afternoon. I know. I
So,
remember.
yes, you remember. So, welcome everybody. This is Mondays with Bev and Paul, which we have a great time doing these Monday shows, which we've been doing for over 3 years. If this is the first time you've tuned into us, we always take a particular topic that we turn into a question, or questions are sent in to us. If you'd like to send us a question, down below there you can see office at justtouch.com. You could send us your questions. Or you could call us 800 473 3812. And today's question, can BioTouch help with daily stress? Now, why did we come up with that? Well, I was thinking about all the stressors that Bev has been dealing with
Oh,
since she moved. Tell us about it, Bev, and how BioTouch has sort of
oh,
helped you wake up or not.
yeah, right. Well, the move went very smoothly. However, being in a new place, not really knowing anybody, and then my car, I had a little drama with my car, and I was stranded for a couple of weeks, and on and on and on. I think it's really interesting because when I thought about moving here, my one biggest worry, I guess stress, is that I won't be getting BioTouch because nobody here knows how to do BioTouch. So that's been my biggest stressor, actually.
we'll
I
have
don't have BioTouch.
we'll have to put that in the stress chart. Not getting BioTouch is a
That's
stressor.
right. Exactly. What's that research on that?
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, that's so I thought about that and I thought about, so there was years ago where you didn't even get BioTouch. And
Yeah.
so what were you thinking about? So the difference between had you not had BioTouch and now that you've had BioTouch and you can't get it, there must be a different kind of a thought system with your relation to the body and how it deals with stress.
Well, yeah, when I became certified all those years ago and was working on staff down at the center, I was giving BioTouch. It never dawned on me to receive BioTouch. I was a practitioner and, volunteering. And then about 3 years ago, one of the Bettina became a staff member, started working on Tuesdays, and you had actually said, you and I need to have more BioTouch, and I'm like, gosh, I need to have it for the first time because I've never had a session. What? Anyway, signed up with Bettina, and after 3 years of getting BioTouch once a week, oh my, I became addicted. I mean, even during the week when things would happen, I'd say, everything's going to be okay because I'm going to get BioTouch on Tuesday with Bettina. And so, yes, I went from a whole different mindset of it not even being in my life to it being part of my life.
And
And
go ahead.
yeah, nope, I was just going to
Oh,
say, after all that time, did I become dependent on it? I don't,
well, that's a good question, and a lot of people ask that. Can you
yeah.
become dependent on BioTouch? And I'm always like, well, okay, are we dependent on brushing our teeth? Are we dependent on eating food? You know, all those things have been shown to me and proven to me that you don't need those. They are things that we've chosen to believe in like Bruce Lipton talked about, neurobiologist, who said, it's all about belief system. What we believe in our DNA and our cellular memory. Like he used the example of these groups that can drink poison and not be affected by it. But for me, if I drink poison, I'm going to die.
You're
And
gonna
and if I don't brush my teeth, I'll get cavities. But I've known people who haven't taken care of their teeth like that, and there are, people in India who can eat one grain of rice, a day, and still be vital.
be
So
fine.
so yeah, can we become dependent? Well, what we're trying to show here is how can BioTouch be put into our daily life without really making a big deal about it? This is not about having to have a special place or a special room. I mean, you can do it in front of the TV, you can do it before dinner, after dinner. I mean, you know how sometimes you hold your hands and you pray before dinner. Well, maybe we should do the greeting on the whole family before we eat dinner.
Wow, maybe your digestive system will even be better.
Right, right. So who knows if we can become dependent? But I think we are dependent on even the stressors in our life. And let's go over this chart. We did major research with Dr. Stevenson in Texas and also Gary Schwartz here at the University of Arizona. And we're showing the stress cycle that Dr. Stevenson talked about. And are we dependent on these stressors? Well, we don't really have a choice, he says. And it goes everything from tobacco and alcohol use. I mean, we have choice on that. Relationships, social isolation, marital family conflicts, death of a loved one. Those are things that just happen to us. The environment, rotating shift work, chemical exposures. I mean, we're being told about that over and over. Illness, the flu season comes around. We're all being, there's a good example. We're being told, oh, this could be a bad flu season. We're already being
Bombarded.
bombarded by the belief of
Right.
getting a flu or a cold. And of course, the scientific community, medical community, has one way out of it, and that's to get um,
Flu shot.
inoculated. Yeah, get the flu
Hmm.
shot. Diet, high in fat, sugar, and red meat. So a lot of those things are things that we've just been brought up on, and it's hard to change those. So those are stressors, prescription and non-prescription drugs.
Mm. Yeah.
I think about even taking too many supplements, and all of a sudden your digestive system's not working. Genes, DNA, and the
Yeah.
gene stressors in our life. Doesn't Dr. Lipton talk about that too?
Yeah, he, is a cellular biologist that has done research. His whole thing was to go in and to bridge the science community with what is called the spiritual community. And that research, his aha moment, was when he actually understood that we can change the story at the cellular level. And this is starting to become something that a lot of people are talking about in the scientific field,
Yeah,
changing the story. The moment that I heard about his work, I realized, and he said, here's the kicker: you change the story with love. You tell a
right.
different story in love. And for me, that was BioTouch. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking for a long time that those two fingers touching on the skin is a communication system that goes to the cellular level. And what did we say? That touch is love. It's perfect. It was, for me, I thought he needs to know about BioTouch. Yeah.
So let's show some of that other. So the psychological stressors and distress, emotions, lifestyle, lack of sleep, childhood trauma, physical or sexual abuse, even just turning on the TV that triggers unremembered trauma in our life when we see it being expressed. Socioeconomic status. I mean, that's becoming a big issue for a lot of society. And what she said, that creates a memory pattern, what she calls activation of accelerated aging pathways, chronic stress. And that creates in the standard body is an immune dysregulation and a cortisol dysregulation. And that turns into a lot of our problems: dementia, cardiovascular disease, infections, benign and malignant tumors, mood disorders, obesity. And so what she found is just what Bev was talking about, that she felt about BioTouch changes the story. BioTouch is an activation of love. And when you do that, she found you increase interleukin 12 levels, which improve immune system function, and you improve the circadian pattern of cortisol release, which she says improves your quality of life and increases activity of genes that fight infection and cancer and promote healthy aging. I mean, there's changing the story.
Story right there. If I could just say something really quickly that always gets to me when we see this chart in her research, that interleukin 12, only at this point, only the body can produce that. You can't get interleukin 12 from injections or drugs or
Right.
any outside source. So in that research, those women had BioTouch on a consistent basis, and their body started producing interleukin 12. I mean, wow.
That blew Dr. Stevenson away. And then when she told you
Yeah.
there's no supplement, it's sort of like, God, we could sell BioTouch as a supplement. And it is.
It is.
It's a supplement to your health care.
Hell,
Brushing your
yeah.
teeth is a supplement to care for your, take vitamin A, you take add the supplement of BioTouch into your life. And we're not talking about a huge amount of time to do this. So,
Right.
what we decide, 30 seconds to a minute, and
Yep.
a few times a day. So one of the other things in that research that we wanted to show is the chart that we did at the University of Arizona, and you can see here that the pre-stress levels before are that dark blue line. Amity is a drug rehab community. California, Hawaii, we had a bunch of people, and Arizona. And you can see a significant drop pre and post session at all stress levels, especially at the drug rehab community. We also find out that working women in their 30s and 40s have that same kind of stress. High school children have that same kind of stress. And when you have that kind of a drop, you almost feel like you're passing out. So just pre and post session. And so if we want to create a new habit energy, a new story, then let's just start applying BioTouch. And it reminds me of, I saw this little thing on YouTube. It was this woman who teaches energy healing, and the funny thing is, you have to go through 4 years of her training and thousands of dollars in order to be a practitioner. And I just sort of laugh. I'm like, oh my God, we can teach people. We're going to teach you here, on our little program. And she did muscle testing. If you don't know what that is, you can call it kinesiology. And she tested people's stress. And the way she did it was she tested your arm, got your arm up there, tested it. It was strong. And then she had you think of a stressful situation or a negative thought. And then she pushed down on your arm, and it would fall. And then she did her little thing that she does. And I thought, my gosh, those are the same points we do for ANA of the headset. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go try it. So I got 6 people that day, and I did the same kind of muscle testing, and I just did the greeting with them, and I just did ANA, and I had them put their arm up again and think of that stressful situation, and the arm was strong.
There you go.
And so what did that tell me? The same thing we're talking here. It's not about getting rid of these stresses.
Right.
It's about BioTouch helping us deal with these stresses that we're bombarded with all the time.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you're on the planet right now, whether you think so or not, and many times we don't realize the amount of stress that we're dealing with, you're going to have a certain amount of stress. And what they've found is 80% of all diseases and conditions you can relate to stress. That's huge, and BioTouch, it's not just, it's a supplement for your life, period. Not just, yes, your daily life, but it changes your life.
Right. And again, showing that chart. I mean, there it is. All those stressors that you can't, most of those you can't do anything about. If you drive out on the freeway or the highway or just downtown in your small little town like Medford, you're gonna be stressed out, you know.
Right.
But there it is. Putting BioTouch into that changes our life, changes the way the body deals with stress, and probably the emotion and the psychological nature.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
all these stresses that you've been dealing with, um,
Yep.
I would just have to believe all these years of getting BioTouch has really helped you do the stress of moving and your car breaking down and on and on and on, and
You
now
know,
how your body's craving it. It needs that supplement
it
again.
needs it. But you know what? That's a good point. So I've been having BioTouch on a regular basis for 3 years. And I think what it's done is because I realized when I was going through these things, I had a whole different attitude. I was able to deal with it in almost an unattached way. I knew it was happening to me, but it was like, okay, now I need to find somebody. And I think I found her. I'm going to teach her BioTouch, and she's going to give me BioTouch, and I'm going to give her BioTouch. So
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. Yep.
And just for all of you out there, I've been changing our scenery here because we're trying to practice different kinds of scenery. So there's one little scenery, and here's our other little scenery. Pretty neat, huh? So I think about too that you only really got consistent once a week. A session once a week. I mean,
Once a
imagine if
week.
if all of us just did the greeting and maybe the stress set that we're going to share here once a week, twice a week. Take a minute out of your life twice a week and share it with a loved one. And if you have nobody, just pretend you're working on them through your thought system and pretend somebody's working on you. That'll help somehow. If it's all just thought
Yeah,
anyhow, what the heck?
absolutely.
Let's just think about it. So, we really should teach a set of points. So we always want to make sure you're learning this. If you want more about it, go online, justtouch.com or biotouchhealing.com. Click on the little link. You get the first 10 pages of our training manual for free. And then in these little Monday shows, we always like to teach a little set, and we're going to teach you the stress set.
The stress set may be used to address any manifestation of physical, emotional, or mental stress, as well as anxiety and shingles. Hold at X, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone. It is the same as greeting point 1. Then with the other hand touch points 1 and 2, which are the same points as in the heart set. These points are found by imagining a line running from the notch at the top of the breastbone to a place on the left breast where the nipple would be on a youth. Divide this imaginary line into thirds. Point 1 is at the top of the first third. Point 2 is at the top of the second third. These points may be touched repeatedly, and remember to touch each point for at least 6 to 8 seconds.
Well,
Is that
doesn't
it?
doesn't get simpler than that.
Is that all? And we can't take 1 minute of our lives once a day or once a week to do
Uh,
that.
well, we're here to remind you all,
We
get your
are.
BioTouch.
Yep.
Make it a dependent act. Become addicted to it. Let's
Oh, it's
put
a
it
good
out there. Let's
addiction.
have a good addiction.
It's a loving
A
addiction.
loving
Yes.
addiction. So also, we're going to share with you, here is our next health condition workshop. Here's another little show. There's Bev on top, and I'm on the bottom of this little show here that we're showing. Oral Health, October 24th, 6 p.m. BioTouch Healing Center is where we're going to do it, but it'll also be live streamed. Join us for, again, in a little 2-hour workshop, we're going to teach you how to take care of your teeth, and you just add it to brushing your teeth, or if you get a cavity or if you get a pain, how to deal with that. So again, it's simple. So we are grateful, yeah, Bev, that to do these Monday shows.
I love it.
I love it, and I love you.
I love you too.
And we love all of you out there, and we'll
Yep.
see you all next week, yeah?
Yes. Have a great week.
If pain has got you down and you live in town, take a trip down to Pima Street. The people down there are people who care. They will get you back on your feet. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand. A healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action.